Hello, hello, hello. Let me notify the chat room. We are live today. Hello, Dan Salem here, back with High on Sports live stream on BuzzChomp, talking New York Yankees baseball, the 2016 MLB season. I'm Dan Salem, at the Dan Salem on Twitter, YouTube, Space. A set link specifically for this live stream. Join us, chat while we are live, and watch, of course. Always saved in the archive. Today, okay, I believe we are live once again. I am just checking my source and my quality to make sure we are broadcasting in high definition. We are. Well, excellent. All right, let's start this again. Scratch that first minute. It will get deleted. I am Dan Salem. This is High on Sports live stream on BuzzChomp, talking New York Yankees 2016 MLB season. Here 1 week into the month of June 7th, 2016. It's been a roller coaster ride for our New York Yankees this past week. The week prior was a downer. The week before that was an upper. This week, both up and down. That showed in the wins and loss column as the Yankees went 3-3. I am at the Dan Salem on Twitter, or at BuzzChomp with 3 Z's on the Twitter. Send us your questions. Join us in the chat room and let me know what you want to know about where I am from. I will give you a quick score update. It is 4-0 Yankees. Woo, top of the third. Very nice indeed. Let's keep what's atop the agenda. Mark Teixeira. So last week he hit the disabled list, 15-day DL, with some knee problems. I totally called that one. He had been underperforming, looked uncomfortable. I want him to get better. The news today is he is not going to get surgery on his knee, at least not during the season. I respect that. He wants to play. He wants to help this baseball team. He says he might be back in as little as 3 weeks. That's pretty quick recovery time. He's not going to get surgery. He'll probably need it in the offseason. It's just another lost, at least part of the year for Mark. It sucks. He gets hurt every single season over the last few years, and his body's just not holding it together. He's got this great offseason workout routine. He's been banging it out and really getting himself in shape. And then, at least this year, he started just pretty terribly, and now he's got a knee problem. So I want him to get better. I'm not sure he's going to help this Yankee team this season, but I know he needs to put together at least a good month or two of baseball for his own mental well-being so that he can go through another knee rehab in the offseason and get ready for next year. I mean, he's towards the end of his career. How many more times can he go through a whole major rehab? I guess we'll find out. Got at least one more for him. I hope it's short. I hope he comes back strong. But with knee issues, can he play first base? Or is he going to be another DH? The Yankees, we have too many DHs right now. We don't need another DH. We have a partially hobbled Alex Rodriguez doing very well at DH. We don't need another DH. Message from the audience. Can A-Rod learn first base? I think he tried and failed last spring training. That's an excellent question. I sure hope it does not come to that. We've got a couple young guys we called up that are slotting in at first. Rob Rivesnyder, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I have a very difficult time with the spelling of his name. He got his first start at first base over the weekend against the Orioles. And good. I mean, he showed promise. They brought him back up this season. He's not batting great, but considering that the Yankees are not batting great as a team, Rob fits right in. So, if he can play first, that's an option. Now, granted, you generally want a big bat at first base in your lineup. It tends to be a more heavy hitting position. A-Rod should be able to play first. He played third, he played short, Why not play first? Except that he's near the end of his career, and he's most useful as the DH. He's not somebody you want in the field. But that's the same with Teixeira. He's not somebody you want in the field. Nobody can play with two DHs. So I'm hoping one of these two guys puts together a solid stretch of baseball here, and maybe the Yankees can trade him. Maybe another team wants one of them. Nobody wants them right now. They're stuck on the Yankees, and we can't play them both. But if they're hobbled, then I guess we just rotate them every other night, and one of them slots in, and maybe they can put together and make one good baseball player. We can hope, can't we? It is the middle of the fourth now. Yankees still up 4-0 against the Angels. So, Teixeira hopes to return in 3 weeks. That brings me back around to the reason I am not rushing for him to get back. He's been underperforming. In the last 5 games, the Yankees put up 5 or more runs 4 times. The offense really turned things on this last week. Excellent to see. Unfortunately, we only got 3 wins out of that bunch of 6 games, but the offense came around. That is critical. Now, the starting pitching was there quite a bit too, and it was the bullpen that let us down. But considering the bullpen is the strength of our team, I like this. I like this a lot. The batting is coming on. We're starting to hit. The bullpen's going to do what it does. It's unfortunate it hit a rough patch at the same time that the rest of the team was playing well, but that's likely going to be behind them rather quickly. They're a good bunch of players. I mean, Miller, Chapman, and Betances, the three of them, they're going to light most teams up and shut them down. So if our offense can hold it up and the pitching can hold it up, we got blown out by the Blue Jays, who they've been on fire the last 10 games, 7-3, I think, 8-2, something like that. They are on fire, way over 500. So they swept us, but they beat us handily. And then we took one from Detroit, and only got 1 out of 3 from Baltimore. And then we took one from the Angels, looking to take a second here tonight. This has kind of been the story of the Yankees season. We beat the teams that are average and lose to the teams that are above average, which kind of puts us right where we're at. Toronto turned things on, and they are now shooting up the wild card standings, and they took down the Yankees to do it. We handled Detroit, who's a muddling team right now, and we're handling the Angels, who are a muddling team right now. Baltimore more or less took care of business against us Yankees. We had them 1-0, and then they rain out, and then the bullpen blew that game. We lost 6-5. We won 8-6. These are close games, so we're not like getting crushed. So that's good because Baltimore's the top of the division, top of the league right now. We're not getting crushed, but we're not winning. We need to win more of these games, otherwise they kind of go for naught. It's like moral victories. Only so many moral victories do any of us really give a crap about, and we kind of stop caring because it's a moral victory, not an actual victory. Another question. Am I worried about Betances at all? He's being knocked around. That's a good question. I have Betances on my fantasy team, and I seriously considered dropping him today because he has been knocked around. His ERA stinks. He doesn't get saves anymore, and he's not putting up the Ks like he used to. In terms of being on the Yankees, I'm not concerned about the team because we don't necessarily need him. We have Miller and Chapman, but Miller's not really a good trade piece if Betances isn't playing well because we need that setup man. So I don't know. It's early in the year. He pitched so well last season, and he's shown signs of his dominance, but he has gotten knocked around. So I guess the answer is yes, I'm currently worried, but not long term. I think that this is a hiccup. He'll get over it. He's kind of been demoted to number 3 instead of number 1 or 2, which he was last season in the bullpen. And that's a pill you got to swallow. And if he's coming in the 7th when he used to come in the 8th and 9th, again, he's facing a different crop of guys. He's normally being brought in when men are on base, and hence you'd like to see him shut them right down, but that's a higher pressure situation, and so far he hasn't been able to handle the pressure. So he's going to get his opportunity to turn this corner, and I think he's going to do it. I really saw great things last season, and I don't see any reason for him to completely dismiss it. And ultimately, I kept Betances on my team. I'm going to give him another week or two to turn this around before I drop him from my fantasy roster. I dropped a guy on the Red Sox, Ujera, instead, because he was equally as poor so far this year, and I don't like having Red Sox on my roster anyways. So, yes, I'm worried, but not crying to mama worried. Mom worried. Quick check-in on the score, and it is now 5-0 Yankees. Apparently that bottom of the third went quickly, but included a home run for the Yankees. So, yay, thank you for playing commercials when I just want to look at the feed to see who scored the run. Guess we will hit up some Twitter for that. Who got the run for the Yankees? Who did it? Who did it? Someone hit a solo shot, that's my guess. Oh, it was Castro. Second straight night, Yankees up 5-0. Way to go, Castro. Way to go. Way to go. Speaking of Castro, he still does not hold the 88. Got to take this with a 300 average. No, nobody on the Yankees has a 300 batting average. Nobody. Austin Romine has the highest with 292, but he doesn't qualify with enough at bats. So Ellsbury's got 288. Castro fell all the way down with his 255. He used to be up there. He actually had over 300 for a while. He used to be up there at number 1. He's fallen back down. Beltran is holding strong, the team leader in RBIs and home runs. And he's also the team leader in hits. It's like Beltran is young again. I don't know how long this can last. I'm just going to ride the roller coaster. Like I said, it's a roller coaster of a week. It's been a roller coaster of a year. Beltran's a roller coaster. I'm waiting for him to crash because can he truly maintain this all season? If he can maintain it long enough for someone to want to trade for him, that would be a win for this baseball team because then you'd get someone back. I don't know if it's likely, but one can hope. The Yankees are probably going to remain about average the rest of the year. But they've played more or less below average. Hence, there are several games under 500. So, if they turn things around and get several games over 500, they're in the wild card chase. I think that they will get themselves into the wild card chase legitimately by the end of the season. They may still be a few games out, but they're not going to be 5 or 6 games out of the wild card. Unless they make a deal, which is not out of the question, and bring somebody in, not let someone go, I don't see them becoming much better than average. They have an above-average bullpen that's very good. Their starting rotation is starting to look above average. Pineda's been excellent. We keep, what's his face? They got demoted. I can't even remember now. Out of the rotation because he stunk. He's supposed to be good, but he's not been playing well, so we keep him out. And we're looking good. To clearly come around, it's just been so piss poor. You think it has to average out. So the other two are up, and the batting it brings itself up to a respectable level. And this is an above-average baseball team. And considering they've been below, they're still average. But this is a turnaround. Any win streak is a turnaround. I am being realistic here and saying we're in the wild card race if we're lucky. I don't know about playoffs. But winning is in the cards. Let's put it that way. Still 5-0 Yankees, top of the 4th. So yes, like I said, nobody on the team batting over 300. On base percentages, the highest is 309. That stinks. Highest slugging percentage 462. That stinks. Like, I got Ellsbury on my fantasy team, and he's been pretty damn good, but not great. Beltran's worth owning. Nobody else has even come close to being a respectable fantasy player for our team this season, and then that's a shocker. Playoffs. You wish. I wish too. We made the playoffs last season. It just didn't feel like it because we only had one game and we got crushed by a pitcher who is no longer to me anyways, along with his whole baseball team, the Astros, who stink now. What did you know? It was a one-hit wonder, but not quite because they never really got very far. Burn! Anyways, Teixeira is the news of the day. He's going to need knee surgery, yet he's opting out of it. Yankees showing signs of life. That's the news of the day. And the rumor mill. So the rumor is the Yankees don't plan on trading anybody. Just yet. Now, if I were a betting man, this feels like a headline that's trying to blow smoke in the faces of people. Oh, the Yankees aren't trading. We better make a phone call and inquire. Oh, really? Beltran's off limits? They must know something that we don't know. Even though he's been playing great, they don't want to get rid of him. Now, sure, it's a fish for the fans. Oh, yeah, we're not giving up on this season, but honestly, we're not nearly as good as the best teams in the league. So the writing's kind of on the wall that it'd be a miracle for us to make a championship run. And that means you trade away some guys that are going to net you big return. We haven't done that in a long time. So not just yet, sure. But who's really shopping at this point in the year? Very few people. So come the beginning of July, that's going to turn into oh yeah, you want a piece of one of our guys? Oh, what are you going to offer us? Because they aren't going to come cheap. They are not coming cheap at all. Still 5-0, top of the fourth. Furthermore, I mentioned how the bullpen has stumbled. That will turn around. I know we had a couple of major injuries to some of our prospects, but I like this Rive Snyder kid. I want to see him do more. I want to see the Yankees keep infusing young blood into the major league team and seeing if they can hold their weight. Because we need to see a glimpse of the future. Right now we're looking at a bunch of the past, and it is not living up to snuff. Quick look at the week ahead. 2 more games against the Angels after today. And we face Detroit at home. Is that 6 victories for the Yankees? I say we take 3 or 4 from the Angels and we sweep the Tigers. So not quite 6, but that's going to put us in a respectable position heading on the road. Got a long road trip after that. Almost a full week. Colorado, and then Minnesota, and then Colorado, Minnesota at home. Oh my God, if that isn't like a buffet feast for the gods, Colorado and Minnesota for 2 weeks straight before we have to face the Rangers, who will be a tough opponent. Okay, Angels, Tigers, Colorado, Minnesota. How many games is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 17 games. That could be easily 15-2. 13-4 type of stretch run for the Yankees. That shoots them way up the standings. Now, feasting on lesser opponents doesn't make us a good team, but it makes us the team we're supposed to be. We should beat the Twins every time. We should beat the Tigers. We should beat the Rockies, and we are beating up on the Angels. These aren't good baseball teams. They're not done. We are not crying uncle just yet. Ooh, still top of the fourth. Pineda. Taking it slow this half inning, I see. Taking it slow. All right. Any other questions today? We are reaching the end of our live stream feed for this afternoon. So that was the week coming up, and actually a 3-week look at what could be a real cupcake schedule here for New York in June after what was a rough month of May. In the overall standings, still ranking in the 20s in every major batting category. But with a few more games, we might be able to get ourselves up into the teens. We're getting close in batting average. We're getting close. As for the other statistics, looking good. Still 7th in WHIP in the league. That's excellent. This is pitching now. We are 12th in batting average against, 16th in quality starts, and a crappy 17th in ERA. So, we need to get our ERA down. We gave up too many runs over the weekend, especially the bullpen. Let's get those pitching statistics down into the top 10, all fronts. This is where the Yankees are really going to turn things around. Pitching. This is a pitching first team this season. And then they seem to be hitting quite a number of home runs, but all I could ask for is maybe some quality hits, some speed on the base path. You can manufacture runs, but you get them where you get them, huh? Another question. Who am I worried about for the wild card spots? Good question. Well, quickly I shall bring up the standings. Obviously, the major front runner is the Boston Red Sox / Baltimore Orioles. Those two teams are ahead in the AL East. One of them is going to win one of the two wild card spots. I don't see either of them slowing down. They've looked really good. They are just playing great baseball. Boston is 4-6 in its last 10, but that's a minor hiccup there. Plus 69 in the run differential. That's incredible. Yankees are negative 28, which is pitiful. The other teams I'm looking at, Kansas City, currently 2.5 behind Cleveland, who has an excellent differential. Kansas City, I don't see them dropping out of the race. They're defending world champs. They're going to be in it. I'm not sure they're going to win a wild card berth, but they're in it. Tigers, they're just barely better than average. I don't see them really making noise. And then we've got down in the West, I think the Mariners will kick it around. So it's really you got Seattle and Kansas City as the major competition for the Yankees for that final wild card spot. Now, I don't like the prospects of a one-game playoff against the Red Sox for the wild card or the Orioles. But if the Yankees win that spot and it's a divisional game, that's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be tough because most of those teams are very much better than the Yankees at this point. But the Yankees have beat up on the Tigers and they beat up on the Royals. I don't know if we faced the Mariners quite yet, but the only hiccup here is the Mariners got an excellent run differential. Kansas City does not. The Yankees do not. Boston and Baltimore both do. So if we're going to use that as sort of a barometer, it's Seattle's to lose the final wild card spot. Seattle's to lose. Of course, it's very early. There will be injuries because there are always injuries. Middle of the fourth, still 5-0 New York. And we shall see. But those are the teams facing major competition. Any final questions before we sign off this week and look back towards next week, where we may have a surprise guest in the audience, and we may be watching a Yankees win streak against weaker competition, but you take it where you can get it. No final questions. Well, thank you for tuning in today. This has been a New York Yankees live stream chatting the team this past week in the 2016 season. I am Dan Salem at the Dan Salem on Twitter. Hit me up with questions throughout the week. I will answer them here on air live. We are on BuzzChomp, 3Zs on the Twitter. This and all of my live streams will be available on the BuzzChomp channel within the hour after we end the stream. All right, go enjoy the rest of the Yankee game. We are beating up on the LA Angels. Yeah, I might be in LA, but down go the Angels. I'm Dan Salem. This has been fun. Another edition of New York Yankees live stream. I'll be back next Tuesday about 5 p.m. Pacific time talking New York Yankees baseball. Tuesday. Did I say Thursday? I mean next Tuesday talking New York Yankees baseball at 5 p.m. Pacific. Every Tuesday. I'm on Tuesdays. Whatever I said before that, just ignore me. I'm Dan. Talk to you later.